depicts what Tasmania has to offer, not just the good, but also some of the extreme conditions we work in. Next slide. As you can see in the top left of the screen, that is the original hatchery that started back in 1979 in Bicheno. The reason we started the oyster hatchery was the wild catch in Tasmania was not sufficient enough for businesses to grow. These are just some pictures of oyster farming over the years. You can see on the we started with stick culture, as I'd mentioned before. Actually, we started through a combination of a plastic manufacturer and an oyster farmer in South Australia. We also continue to work with SEAPA, and I can remember would have been close to 10 years ago talking with SEAPA some of the challenges that we faced in our operation.
As mentioned, Pacific Hybrid is based here in the Pacific Northwest. We have a separate facility in Hawaii, and our goal is to bring decades of scientific research to provide higher yielding and more resilient farmed shellfish for both the North American market and a growing global community. Of what we do is crossbreeding based on published research that was done by my business partners, Dennis Kedgecock and Joff Davis, both preeminent shellfish scientists on a global level. They showed that hybrid vigor from crossbreeding can significantly enhance yield and resilience for Pacific oysters and other bivalves.
Next slide, please. Natured in the intertidal, but in the subtidal area. So I'd like to ask the method how you do in a subtidal way. So the rules say some from the production breeding tea or resin seeds is available in this restaurant. Are you using for production? So for the breeding method, we have two ways. So first of all, there are two types of the oyster. So on the left-hand side of the slide shows
this is a new type of a raft, isn't it? Exactly. Before, we used to have the rafts made of wood or bamboos, but recently we use FRP type farming. Quite simple, isn't it? You have just one loaf and then you add the basket to that and then float.